Morning to you, boys and girls. It's Thursday, nearly through the week now. Thursday, the 12th of November, 2020. Good morning to you, and welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire. That opening sequence there, near the end of it, just before the globe comes on, is like a large lake and things like that. That's where I cycled to on Sunday. It's some going, to be honest with you. It was all right going there. And it was all right half getting back. Now, when I got there on Sunday, it's about 8 to 9 miles there through some lovely roads, really. You have the Google Maps, right? And if you type in cycle route, it will try and take you away from all the main roads. In actual fact, I don't think... actually one main road through Ascot, really. You go on there, but that's about the only one. And that one's not too bad. It's not a fast road, you know. If you cycle from Bracknell down to the, not Windsor Safari Park, what's it called now? Legoland. If you cycle from here down to Legoland, at the end of the journey is a very, very busy road. I mean, it's fast. 60 mile an hour, yeah, and the rest, mate. They come tearing down there. You take your life in your hands on that little bit there. You really do. So the journey down to Virginia Water is quite nice. And you go on these quiet roads. There's a couple of really steep hills, but it's all right. And I got there and I sat on this log. This was Sunday. Was it Sunday morning? It was Sunday morning. And I sat on the log there. I had a flask of tea. My sister bought me this metal flask thing last year sometimes. So I put the tea in there, and it's all right, actually. It's all right for about an hour or an hour and a half, I would say. After that, it would be getting sort of a little bit cold, I would imagine. There's no insulation. It's basically just a metal bottle, but it works. So I had a cup of tea and a Mars bar, dare I tell you, while I was sitting on the log. And there's a lot of people there, an awful lot of people. Lots of dogs, which were very friendly. One dog I thought was lost, kept coming over to me. Eventually I saw it run after some bloke. A lovely day. And then on the way home, of course, I was there. How long did I stay there? 15 minutes? As I say, a lot of people walking around. Nice people. Do you know what I mean? Not scummy people. Nice people. Really, really nice people walking around there. And then come back out again, and off I went. And after about... If the journey is about an hour, I would say after about 40 minutes, my legs really started aching. The top bit. You know, from the knee up to the sort of where the leg joins your bottom of your stomach there, that bit was aching, but I managed to get back eventually. Oh, God dear. And I fell onto the armchair. Funny though, I think it's just a case of getting used to longer bike rides, a little bit like the walking. I'm used to doing a lot of walking now. I'm now up to about 17,000 steps a day, which is about 7 miles. It's not bad, is it? Because when I used to go swimming every day, you see, back in March, all stopped, so I knew I had to do something. I started walking, and I started around about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I'm now, the other day, I was out for 3 hours. 3 hours just walking in the forest, beautiful, so quiet, As you know, I go litter picking as well. I go over there with a bag. I've discovered a new way to collect even more litter now. That is, those big Sainsbury's reusable bags. Now, I don't know if they still do those. They were orange. I should have bought one up, actually. They were orange, great big orange things. And if they broke, you'd just take them back and get another one. You know those ones? They weren't made out of thin plastic, some sort of, thicker plastic, I suppose, something like that. Well, if you get one of those and put a bin liner in it with pegs around the outside to hold it in place, you can collect a lot more. Much, much better. Much better. You can't take a bin liner on its own. Number one, they're too thin. And number two, when the wind catches them, either the litter goes everywhere, right, or you can't get it in. You're holding this blooming bag, like trying to put this piece of litter in there. So I was out 3 hours the other day. I was out 2 hours yesterday. And funnily enough, I'm cycling, I'm sort of walking along here, picking bits up. Hello, Chris. And I look round. There's a bloke on a bike, and it took me. I knew him. But it was one of those cases where you can't remember who the hell it is. And I'm scrubbing my mind, trying to work out who this person is. And then he mentioned Angela. And immediately it came to me straight away. Angela, they actually live in this road. And they live up there. Angela's severely disabled. She basically doesn't leave her bedroom. And I've seen her a couple of times in the past in a electric wheelchair type thing, running everyone over if they get in the way. Good job as well. Although she wouldn't get up and down this road. No, not the way that people park on the pavements. Dreadful. You've got a pavement like this or a path, right? At night time, there'll be a car parked across it. No one does anything about this. On the other hand, there's nowhere to park, so it's difficult to sort of work out, really. And he was on his bike and it looked really dirty. He'd obviously been in all the puddles and things because it wasn't very dry over there yesterday. It wasn't raining, but the ground was full of massive puddles and a lot of mud everywhere, so you've got to go up there in your boots. And he's chatting away to him. And I said, how long have you been on the bike? He said, I started back in March when the lockdown started. Okay. I said, do you go very far? Yeah. He said, well, I've built it right up. I said, well, I went down to Virginia Water on Sunday. I said, that was 18 miles all round trip. That really did me in. He said, well, the furthest I've gone in a day, are you ready for this? In a day, on his bike, 125 miles. 125 miles. I think he's a little bit younger than me. 125-mile bike ride. Wow, that is something. And around here, it's not the same as cycling in Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire is very, very flat. Okay? So, for example, when I'm up at my caravan, or the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex, when I'm up at my caravan, I can cycle to my sister's. It's about an hour and a quarter sort of time. But basically, it's all flat. The only time you go up a hill is when you cross a bridge. You're going along the river for about, you're going along the river a good half hour, 40 minutes maybe, flat like that, right? And then when you want to cross over the other side, you've got to come off the river over the bridge and then back down. But then it's flat again. Not like that round here, mate. We're having a laugh at the hills here, especially the ones coming back from Virginia Water. There's a particular hill that, my legs, dear. But I managed it, 18 miles. 125-mile cycle he goes on. How's that, eh? He says he's usually out. When I saw him yesterday, he said he'd been out nearly 3.5 hours. Just cycling around. And it makes you feel good. Going out and walking or cycling, it makes you feel good. So much better than sitting there on a Sony PlayStation or an Xbox. It really is. Yeah, so there we are. Highly recommended. Get out there and have a little bit of a walk. All right, boys and girls. I had a filament stuck. I was sitting here just playing the music. Listen, what is that in my tooth? It was a filament. A filament from because I had toast this morning. Did I have toast? No, I had toast yesterday morning. For a change, I had toast in the morning. And funnily enough, I came across this story here. I'll come on to the filament in a minute. But in the Daily Mirror, I saw this also on BBC Breakfast yesterday morning. There's a TikTok video up. Now, I haven't seen it on TikTok. Rachel, of course, is queen of TikTok on this channel. A TikTok video showing an alternative method to cook steak has gone viral. Now, don't do this. I would imagine this is quite dangerous. I'm sure your mother told you in the past, never stick a knife in a toaster. It's always very tempting, isn't it? Your toast goes down, you're waiting. Why does it seem to take like eight years for a piece of toast to do when you want it to be finished? Have you noticed that? About 8 years. I personally prefer my toast lightly done, very light, slightly going brown. That's enough for me. Don't like burnt toast. Although that being said, I don't like to throw away food. So if the toast is burnt, it will be scraped off and then eaten. Ever do that, ladies? Come on, you do, don't you? Scraping it off into the sink. All those nasty little bits of black going down there. Are they good for anything? Can you put them in the garden? That's where my tea leaves end up, in the garden. A whole mountain of tea leaves, like 5 foot high tea leaves in the corner. The bugs love it. It's all swarming with worms and maggots, centipedes, and those, well, not ugly, are they? Millipedes. They scare me. Too many legs. Not natural to have so many legs like that, is it, darling? I reckon Katie Price would like a load of legs like that. Well, don't you? She could wrap even more. She could collect even more young lads with all those legs. She could have hundreds of them all at the same time. Perhaps she does. Katie Price, the human sperm whale. Stop it now. Anyway, back to the steak. You don't put a knife in there. When it pops up, sometimes the bread gets stuck, especially if, like me, you like uncut bread. Not that nasty stuff in a packet with a piece of plastic around the outside and that little piece of plastic that twists the thing and holds it together. Don't want any of that. We want a piece of bread that we get with a sharp knife. And we saw it, don't we? Turn the bottom. And then we approximately measure how thick we want it. Like that, please. 2 inches thick. With your knife. With your carving knife. Da-da-da-da, with a carving knife, she was the da-da-da-da. I want the morning when I become what's that? Something about a carving knife. Anyway. And then you get it in the toaster and it doesn't quite go in, does it? That thick bit of bread is just that little bit too thick for you to go under the toaster. But you force it in, don't you? So you put the thing down. One piece will probably go in and the other piece, oh, it's not going to. Yeah, I'll just push that down with my finger. You push it down. And you wait and you wait and you wait. 8 years passes and eventually it pops up. Ding! And one side pops up. But the other is stuck down there. Oh, I knew it was too thick. Now, some people at this point foolishly shove a knife in there and try and get it out like that. For Christ's sake, unplug the toaster first or you will be electrocuted. Be very, very careful. Unplug the toaster first and then just carefully get that thing out with your knife. Just let it cool down first, really. But we do like a piece of toast with marmalade and butter. Oh, how much butter are you putting on that? So, enough so that I can taste it. What is the point in putting on a tiny thin piece of butter that you can't even taste? Might as well have it dry. Aren't you? Thick piece of butter. You put it on the plate and this thing's coming over to you. And by the time it gets on your lap, oh, come on, don't give me all that. None of you sit at a table and have breakfast, do you? It's all on your lap in front of Naga Monchetti on the telly every morning. And Misery Guts Charlie. And you pick it up. Half the butter has now melted back onto the plate. Huh, so it's got to be wiped up, hasn't it? Marmalade as well. Lovely. Well, this old bag, she's done more than cook toast in her toaster. Very foolish. A TikTok video showing an alternative method to cook steak has gone viral. But the dangerous method shouldn't be tried at home. It says, if you're a steak connoisseur, are you one of those people? Like a nice piece of dead animal in your mouth, do you? If you're a steak connoisseur, it's likely you've honed the perfect method to cook the meat exactly to your choosing through years of experience. Years and years. Everyone's technique differs slightly, but one woman's video has gone viral after viewers appeared to be in agreement that her very unique kitchen hack should never be repeated. Some even labelling it as a crime. Call the police immediately. Excuse me, madam. Can we just have a look at your toaster? Oh, no, I don't know. Is that it over there in the... Oh, I really don't... Ah, yes. What have you done with that, madam? That doesn't look like... Oh, I'm sure it's a piece of... I can smell dead animals in there. Have you murdered your husband? Very bad. It's a crime. A crime against humanity. A sin in the face of God. You know, I do a little mass. I upload. I live broadcast the mass from our church. Right, I'll put it up there. And someone put a comment on there. They have to comment, don't they? I don't know who it was. Someone put a comment on there. Oh, if you believe in God, then that's the same as believing in the old Greek gods. It's all a fairy tale. Who cares? We still believe in it. Go away. Blocked. TikTok users uploaded a video which bravely claims to show how to cook a steak as she prepares the dish for her boyfriend. People were horrified as she begins placing 2 hefty steak cuts into the toaster and popping them down to cook. Oh, God. Well, it can't be down there that long, can it? I mean, how long is a piece of toast in there? 4 minutes? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? Oh, I bet he likes the steak with the blood running out. I don't like that. Well, I don't like eating any dead animals, but I mean, to see a piece of dead animal on a plate and someone cuts into it and there's blood oozing out of it. Oh, no, dear. How awful. It's horrendous. Do you like it like that? Even when bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Even when I was eating dead animals, when I did steak, it was black. It was black because black steaks matter. Good, smothered in tomato sauce, chips and peas. Have you been to a harvester before? Yes, thank you. Can I show you? We know where the menus are. Would you like any tomato sauce? Yes, please. I'll have some tomato sauce. They're an extra 10 pence each. Sorry? Put the bottle back on the table, dear. We don't want those stupid little plastic things. A bottle of tomato sauce. That's what we require. It says, in the Daily Mirror, we would like to point out that dripping grease and fat into a toaster is a dangerous combination. Please do not try it at home. Well, quite frankly, even if the steak was cooked properly, you've got to clean the toaster out. Yeah, you've seen underneath a grill when you've cooked some piece of dead animal. It's always full of grease underneath there, isn't it? Unless, of course, you've done a bit of chicken or something like that. I don't think that's very greasy. All the stuff I put, even vegetarian stuff can be greasy. Oh, yes. Believe it. Yeah, Quorn stuff tends to be completely grease-free. You do sausages or they do Quorn chicken pieces, something like that. Tends to be, you take it out of the George Foreman grill or toaster, no grease. Not a single drop. The Linda McCartney ones do tend to grease up a bit, so I don't know what they put in there. I've never really looked at the ingredients on there. It says in the Daily Mirror that the video has been met with rage. I'm now going to do a rage face for you. Is that very convincing? I don't know. The video has been met with rage, and it's not the first time her alternative cooking methods have left viewers baffled. Having previously cooked a burger on an iron... I suppose... Yeah, because it's like a flat plate, isn't it? It would... If you had the iron... I don't know if that's that dangerous or not. So if you had an electric hot plate, it's just a plate that's plugged in with an element underneath it. And iron is the same, isn't it? Put your burger on it, turn it over. Do you want fries with that? Triple thick shake, nice apple pie. Oh, McDonald's apple pies. Like to have those down at Skegness. The video has been met with rage, and it's not the first time her alternative cooking methods have left viewers baffled. Having previously cooked a burger on an iron, hot dogs, wait for it, in a tumble dryer. You done anything like this? And spaghetti and meatballs in a coffee maker. I think she just tries to get views on TikTok, innit? Many people, it's very clever, very clever. Many people, I think it's great people come up with this sort of idea. And they shove it up online, you know, and she's probably just done it to try and get views, but it's obviously worked for her. Good luck to her. Good luck to her. Many people tagged Gordon Ramsay on the post, hoping the celebrity chef would set her straight on how to cook steak, as one person commented, "I'm pretty sure it's a war crime." Well, I mean, you can go to Gordon Ramsay's for fish and chips. Say goodbye to 20 quid, mate. So expensive. I remember being, we were in Vegas, myself and my nephew, a couple of years ago. And he's got a place there, Gordon Ramsay's... Oh, what's it called? The place in Vegas. Gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, outside there's all flames. Like a grill almost, like all flames everywhere. Come, it looks fantastic, to be honest. Always packed, absolutely rammed in there. Gordon Ramsay's Grill might be called Gordon Ramsay's Grill. Anyway, he's got a place there. Myself and my nephew, we never went there. Just couldn't get in. Those restaurants in Vegas can get really busy. You've got to book in advance of it. You can't just walk into these places. That's why we lived mainly on Subway. Nothing wrong with a Subway. Oh, it was lovely in Vegas. I had a nice big breakfast every morning. You know, in the hope that we wouldn't want lunch, but it never quite worked out like that. Just kept eating. I bought these jeans from I think it was Levi's actually, from Levi's in Vegas. And by the time it finished, I couldn't get into them afterwards. I put on so much weight, and I never lost it again. Never mind. So there we are. Not a good idea. Really, really not a good idea. You could cause a fire like that. And as I say, how would you even... I mean, a toaster is for dry food, isn't it? A steak is wet food. It's full of blood and stuff like that. Not nice at all. Anyway, there we are. We got the Super Chat raffle coming up very shortly for you boys and girls. Those of you that were kind enough. You can't send a Super Chat at the moment, of course, because the chat box is off. All right, so you can't send anything at the moment other than an email or perhaps a text message. But those of you that over the last week or so were sending in Super Chat tips while we had the chat box on, all your tickets are here. And as promised, I have bought up a transparent, that means it's see-through. Oh, you just have to explain everything. A transparent bowl there, okay, and here they go. All the tickets are in. There's not too many of them, okay, but there's a few in there, and that's the prize. That's the prize for our Super Chat raffle. Okay, so they're all in here. All in here, okay. I'm going to pick one out randomly now. Oh, no, I shouldn't do that, really. Because someone's, oh, I've won. So they're all in there, darlings. Can you see your tickets in there? Look, can you see these? Let's just have a little look there. Just in case you think. I always think, I know some of you think there's always something dodgy going on. But there we are. This will be the last Super Chat raffle, darlings. Okay. See, they're all in there. There's quite a few from Rachel, I see. Oh, we got there. Rachel's in there. Always another one from Rachel. Yeah, she wants that thing. There's another one from Rachel. We got Leslie Ross in here. Look, there's Leslie. Leslie's in there. We've got Peter Wright's in there. We've got Mick Davenport's in there. They're all here. All in here, okay. All right, so where else are we? Is that all? Might do just the three of you. Oh, Gary Ross is in there as well. So they're all in there, okay. And we'll be doing that a little bit. You can't see that, can you? No. We'll be doing that a little bit later on in the show today. Yeah, I had a little filament. I was sitting here playing the music. I thought, what is that? Yeah, and it was a filament in my tooth. A filament from the toothbrush. And I presume they're made out of plastic, these things. I bought my electric toothbrush in. Oh, Christ. Water everywhere. Oh, that's a good way to be electrocuted, isn't it? I've bought my electric toothbrush in here. And these filaments come off. Now, they must be plastic. And I was brushing away this morning. I thought, though, it can't be that good for the environment, chucking away toothbrushes, can it? Especially these electric ones. Now, I know that you can get bamboo toothbrushes, okay? So I do know for a fact that the handle and all that bit is bamboo. What they make the filament out of, I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But presumably, well, I don't know. I mean, if the filament is plastic, then now you can see. Can you just? Yes, you can. Can you see there's a filament coming off there? Can you see that? That little thing sticking out the top. It's a bit like an eyebrower, isn't it? You know, you've got an eyebrow. Oh, there's one sticking out there. How does that happen? Why has the human body seen it fit to occasionally shove out a little piece of hair from your eyebrow longer than all the others? How is that even possible? Why does that happen? Why does a human body do something like that? It's not right, is it? Anyway, so there's a filament sticking out here, and now and again, Can you see that? I'm trying to hold it. Just trying to hold it in the light properly. Just give me the light. Just give me the light. Sean Paul. It's there, but it's there. Right. So I've got it. There it is. There it is. Got it out. Yeah, you can see that just about, can't you? See, that's just like that eyebrow that sticks out like that. I thought they can't be that good at the environment, can they? But the bamboo ones, what do they make the filaments out of there, I wonder? I'll have to look that up, actually. Bamboo toothbrushes. I won't do it now. We've got a show to do now. So that's it. But mine don't last very long. And these are blooming expensive, these are. Obviously, you've got your electric bit, that bit there. And then you get the head. And you buy these heads. And then you get 4 in a packet usually. £10. It's dear, isn't it? Don't you think it's dear, £10 for 4 of those? I do. You can get like 2 lots, like 8 for 18 quid or something like that. But I find them dear. And they don't seem to last me very long. Right, that's about 4 weeks' use. Now look at the state of that now. Right? Here's a new one, which I'm about to replace this live on the show today. This is an exclusive. This is you can't turn on. Who's on in the morning now? Oh, you can't watch Naga Monchetti put new heads on her toothbrushes every morning, can you? No, she don't do this. Or Misery Guts Charlie, or Pretty Boy Dan Walker. None of them do this. Or the old blonde bird who's still hanging on to that job somehow. She looks a bit old to be on there in the morning, doesn't she? Huh? I wish they'd be a bit happier in the morning, these people. Anyway, so that's about 4 weeks old. Now, look, this is a new one out of a packet. What's cost me £10? Okay? Here's a new one, right? So we take the thing off. I mean, there's so much in here that's bad for the environment. So you open the packet somehow, and that's the other thing. You can't get the damn thing out. Here we go. So I'm going to show you the difference. Here's a new one. And here's one that's been used for 4 weeks. Look at the state of it. I must have some pretty strong teeth to be able to do that to it, mustn't I? Look. There is a difference. Can you see it's all like moved? Oh, look. Oh my God, there's food particles coming off of it. And phlegm. So that's the old one. And I use the floss action one. So I'll put that on there, ready for use. And you see that's going to go into the ground now. Well, how long is that going to be stuck in the ground? 2, 3, 4,000 years? People will dig that up in years. People will be looking for these in years to come. When they come across this show, oh my God, he has disposed. We need an old Chris Reardon toothbrush head. That's what people will say. Up it appear on eBay. You lot won't see it. You'll all be dead by then. But in like 2,000 years' time, your children's children will be watching this show. Look, that's what our great grandparents used to watch. And they say to themselves, didn't they have a life? So here's the bits that are bad, more bits that are bad for the environment. Yeah, the bit of plastic. Everything's got to go in a bit of plastic. And these little circles. This is a red circle. I think they do different colours, don't they? Yes, they do different colours. That one's got a green circle. And that one's got a blue circle. This one has a red circle. And what do we do with this? What is the purpose of that? I think the purpose of that is when families buy these things, you see. Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh. No, that's gone forever. Like the Poppy Brad's iodine, so you put it round there so that when you go in the morning and little Johnny, a little Sarah are in there brushing their teeth, they don't accidentally grab yours, do they? People make me fun. Oh, people make me laugh with toothbrushes, don't they? Especially the younger ones of you that are still at it all the time. You know. There you are in the bedrooms with each other. doing all these dreadful things to each other, but you won't share a toothbrush, will you? Oh, no, 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 no. Won't share a toothbrush. What's all that about? Anyway, so that's the filament. Anyway, the filament is now gone, I'm pleased to say. I managed to get it out with one of those, tooth flossing things that we've got there. Let's have a look at it. Do be careful where you brush your teeth. I think the reason that mine is flattened all over the place is because I hold it on the gums too hard. And literally, if you was to come close to me, which I'm kind of hoping most of you don't, to be honest, but if you come close to me, you will notice that I've got like grooves at the top of my teeth where they cut the gums. And my dentist has told, with two reasons for that. First of all, I've got something in my blood which, over a long period of time, damages my my gums, unfortunately. But the other thing is, I brush too hard. In fact, my dentist has advised me to get rid of the electric toothbrush because I just don't seem to use it properly. It's funny really. When you come back from the dentist, for the next 2 days, you kind of, I remember what you said, and you're really careful. And then after that, you go back to what you were normally doing, don't you? How do you break a habit like that? Anyway, that's toothbrushes this morning. And talking about the delightful Naga Monchetti, she was doing an interview this morning with the great Kylie Minogue. I should be so lucky, 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 lucky. I should be so lucky. I should be so... That one. Yeah. Better the devil you know. What kind of fool do you think it's over? I just can't get you out of my head. All those ones. Kylie Minogue was on there this morning looking fantastic. She's over 50 now, isn't she? Had a few health problems. She had the breast cancer some years ago, didn't she? And she was booked to perform, I think, at Glastonbury. Which I can't ever see me doing something like that. Not performing, but going to Glastonbury. Oh, my God, all that mud. All the mud and the tents. And... the toilets. Oh, blah! It's not if the toilet's full up. It's when. Oh, how can anyone go there and use those disgusting toilets? And then people say, well, we just go in a bush. Well, you can't all do that, can you? That poor man who owns the field. God dear, I won't be going litter collecting there, my love. God knows what you'd find. But anyway, she was booked to perform at Glastonbury and she had to pull out because she was having the chemotherapy a few years ago, wasn't she? But she got back there again and she was a huge hit a year or so later. It might have been the next year, I think, something like that. But there she was on the telly this morning. It was a nice little interview. Naga Monchetti was doing it. But I think it was edited a little bit badly. It was a bit jumpy. Do you know what I mean? Mind you, that does seem to be the sort of modern way of how people do videos. Obviously, I couldn't do it with this one because it's live. But when you see some people's videos, particularly the younger people, sort of below 26, they remove the gaps. And for example, while I'm talking to you sometimes, I might do... and they will cut that out. So it'll be a bit like that. And it's a bit like enough. I thought that interview wasn't as bad as that this morning, but it was a little bit clipped. I don't know how you would put it, really. Clipped. That being said, it was quite pleasant to watch. And old Naga and Kylie, you could tell they kind of sort of like each other. I think that worked quite well. So nice to see old Kylie Minogue chatting on the telly this morning. And they were discussing... She asked her what her favourite Christmas film was. And it was Love Actually. Love Actually. Now, I must admit, I haven't seen that. I've never watched the film Love Actually. Probably you have. I've not seen that one. But it sounds like a Christmassy type film. And Kylie said to Naga Monchetti, what's your favourite Christmas film? And she said, Die Hard. Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Nigger. Is it? Is that the one? Die Hard? A Christmas film? I don't think so. And I just wanted to mention that because, of course, we were talking about Christmas films the other morning on the show, weren't we? Christmas films. My favourite Christmas film is, of course, The Polar Express. I'm wishing on a star. Oh, the tissues come out because it's just so nice, and it reminds you of when you was a little boy or a little girl. La da 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 when Santa comes to slay, or something like that. La da 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 da. Oh, beautiful song. I tried singing it at the karaoke last Christmas. I don't think I was particularly good at that one, or any of them, to be honest. Die Hard. How can that be a favourite Christmas film? I know some of you like your Christmas films. White Christmas always is popular, isn't it? White Christmas. The Grinch. The Grinch. What else have we got? So many different Christmas films, aren't there, really? Yeah, I can't think what else other ones there are there. So that's the Naga Monchetti thing. I notice there's a job going on Radio 2. Oh, I've got that jingle. One minute. I got that. 1 moment. Oh, I'll get done for this one. Hang on a minute. Radio 2. Where Radio 2? Let's do that. We'll do that. Pretend I didn't say it then. Well, I noticed there's a job going on Radio 2. '88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC with the 11 o'clock news. I'm Naga Monchetti. Is she on there yet? She's going on Radio 5, isn't she, Naga? Yes. The gay lad is leaving there. Oh Christ, what's his name? I can never remember his name. The little bloke. He's got a chat show. Irish. Scruffy little beard. Oh, Christ. Graham Norton, that's it. Graham Norton. He's leaving Radio 2. Why is that of interest? Because one of my favourite people to watch on the internet, on his YouTube, is Alex Belfield. Now, he calls himself the voice of reason, and he's not wrong. He's really good. He will say what you are thinking, but you're afraid to say it. He's really good. Hundreds of thousands of views on his show. How many will we have today, do you think? 100? But, by the time it's been up for an hour, 100, 150, thousands of views he has for his show. And he talks a lot of common sense. He does short videos. He does a phone-in show twice a week, I think Sundays and Wednesdays possibly, which I've watched a couple of times. He's really very, very good. So check him out on YouTube. Alex Belfield, Belfield. Have a look around his videos, and I'm sure you'll subscribe to him. But he's got a video that he put up just a few hours ago talking about Graham Norton leaving Radio 2. And he reckons Graham Norton gets, according to Alex Belfield, £15,000 per show. £15,000 per show Graham Norton gets on BBC. Shall we do it again? On BBC Radio 2, 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC. The 11 o'clock news. My name's Moira Stewart. I liked Moira Stewart. She was one of my favourite newsreaders. Do you remember her? She had the black frizzy hair. She was fab. You would sit there and pay attention to her. Not like some of them on there now, dear. I mean, Kay Burley, please. Have her on in the background. She's on in the background while I'm doing something. If she's on at all, that is. The only time I put Kay Burley on is when I'm watching the BBC and another victim's story comes on. The victim's story. Someone who's going on about not being able to get this, or something's dropped off them, or they've had a bad experience of the victim stories. As soon as one of those comes on, I'm over. Can't be bothered to watch it anymore. Not interested. Give me something to smile about. So what do? Then I make another mistake and put on Kay Burley, the Ice Queen. Never smiles. Look at that thin face she's got. I wonder what she's like as a nan. Has she got children? Is she a nan? She's got to be a nan by now. I bet she's probably a really good nan, actually. Just don't like her on the telly. That don't mean she's not good. I just don't like her. And I wonder if she gets that. But yes, job going at Radio 2. I don't know if you'll still be on the £15,000 per show, but I'm tempted. I'm tempted to put my name forward. The only thing is, I don't think there'll be much time for records. I like to have a little bit of a chat. Just a small one, you know, not too much. But Radio 2. £15,000 a show. God. Just think, in 3 shows, I could have a brand new caravan. Brand new caravan for that, couldn't I, eh? But talking radio, I'm going to be doing some. Those of you that were in the know might have listened to my Reach on Air show, which I did as a one-off, and I literally booked it a few hours before I was due to go and do it. Now, this is a radio station, reachonair.com. Little pen handy in case you want to listen to this. Reachonair.com is the name of the station, okay? And I've decided that I'd like to start doing that again. As well as this, I've thought a great deal about this. This little thing that you see is an incredible amount of work. What I was doing by last, what was it, Saturday? When's the last show I did? Monday? Was it Monday? What was the last show I did? No, it was Sunday, wasn't it? It was Sunday. Sunday was the last show I did. So say that was the bingo show, so that's a bit different. That requires an awful lot of work as well, the bingo show. Okay, that's on hold, and the quiz show's on hold. In fact, the whole thing's on hold at the moment, regular-wise. But it's an incredible amount of work doing a little show in the morning. It may not look it at your end, and if it doesn't look it at your end, then I'm doing it right. If it looks like I've done a load of work, then it probably doesn't look right. If it looks like, oh, he's just put a few bits together, then it looks right. But actually, it got to the point where, for example, I'd come in here or in my little studio in the caravan at 11 o'clock at night, put the whole thing together, and then I might go to bed about 12:30. Because the little logos, you know, the little thumbnails, this all takes time. And it depends how much time you're willing to put in it. And I've put a lot of time in it over the last year. Not really made huge amounts of difference. And then when you look at YouTube, like some things on there are fantastic, such as Alex Belfield. Some stuff on there is absolutely dire. And yet, there's so many people watching. And it doesn't seem to make any difference how much work I put into it. It doesn't make an awful lot of difference. So I'd come in like at 11 o'clock at night, then go to bed at about 12:30. I'll be back in here the next morning at 8 o'clock, you know, just to have a final look and put things together. And by the time we're on, 8:45, 9:45, 10:30, so that's an hour and 3/4. 2 hours, call it 2 hours, okay, 2 hours there, hour and a half before it, so that's 3.5 hours, and then say another 45 minutes afterwards, putting things together, putting things in envelopes, this, that and the other. It was taking an incredible amount of time, you know, and it was a bit too much, really. And then dealing with people, dare I say it, the chat box. It just become too much, so I took a step back on Monday. And I've had a good think about it. And then someone said, it was my mate actually, Ross Patzel, who was on Reach and CMP radio. This is about 12 years ago. He said, why don't you do the radio again? Oh, don't know if I want to do that again. And I did it on, was it Monday night? Yeah, Monday night, 7 o'clock. And I really enjoyed it. And the thing is, with something like that, there's nowhere near as much involved because it's only an hour. You know, it's only an hour, and plus you've got music in between. There's still stuff to do, but nowhere as much as what you would have to do with something like this. So I did it, and I felt quite elated by the time I finished, and indeed some of you were there as well. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. And you can send messages, you can ask for requests and things like that. But there gets to a point, you see, when you've created an hour's show and it's all ready to go there, you might be able to fit 1, maybe 2 extra bits in there. But that's about it. You know, if you've suddenly had a flood of like 10 requests, because of course you can't see what's coming in. Yeah, you can only hear what's coming in by the bits I read out. And by the time you get to like 20 to 11, or 20 minutes to the end of the show, whatever time that is, it's a bit too late to ask for stuff. And you go, oh, well, I sent one at 20 past 10. Yeah, but I didn't think it fitted in, you know? So you kind of put stuff together like that. So I've decided to do some more of those. And this particular station, it's like a hobby. It's like a hobby, okay? So you pay. You can have a free account if you want. So you're allowed to do 2 shows a month. Although you can pay so much, and then you're allowed to do, I don't know, 10 shows a month. Or you can do the higher one, which allows you to do 90 shows a month. Well, I have no intention of doing 90 shows a month, but it also allows you to go further ahead and book lots of shows up. And so I went on there and I subscribed. Costs £4.95 a month. It might be something that you might like to do. Have a look. reachonair.com. Right? So I subscribed, £4.95 a month, and I had a look around the schedule. I was hoping to find a regular time. That, at this present moment in time, doesn't seem possible. A lot of the slots are already booked up. You could do a regular slot, but that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock in the morning is free as well. You know, I don't really want to get up at 5. Well, what would I... If I was to do a 7 a.m. show, I'd have to be up 6. I don't really want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That being said, you know, you'd all be over and done with at 8 o'clock, wouldn't you? And you've got the whole day to do other stuff. So 7 o'clock I thought was a bit early. So I've booked in 4 shows so far, but they are a bit all over the place. So the next one I'm doing is on Monday, 10 o'clock in the morning. reachonair.com, Monday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Then I'm doing one the Friday afterwards at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then the week after that, Thursday and Friday, 26th and 27th at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, they are all over the place. That's not really how I want it. I would like a regular slot. But you've got to book ahead. You know, you've got to look in advance to try and get those. Because if someone else... No, I don't think there's any sort of priority like you're good or he's not good or she's really good and she's not very good. I don't think there's anything like that going on there. It's literally first come, first served. All right. So you've got to get in there and book up the slot. I think what I'm after... I won't say... No, I mean, in a way, you can test out different times as well. You know, is a morning show better or a nighttime show better? And it has to suit the person who's doing it. Yeah? So perhaps 10 o'clock, I don't know about this, 10 o'clock in the morning. Or it might be 7 o'clock at night. But a lot of the slots are booked up. So when I'm on there, it's going to be all over the place. But there is a schedule on there. You can, if you have a look at the top, there's a schedule on there. So you can look up where whoever is on. You know, you might look on, so for example, what's today's date? The 12th. So tomorrow's the 13th. Oh, it's Friday the 13th tomorrow. Unlucky for some. Friday the 13th tomorrow. So you might look on there today and you thought, oh, Friday. Oh, he's not on Friday. Oh, he's not on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? And you'll be able to see who's on where. That being said, a little bit later on, I'm going to have another look on the schedule and see if I perhaps do different times of the day. But eventually, I'd like a regular time on this station. And it all works very well. It really works well. They've been doing it for years. I've been on there twice before. And I did have a regular slot on there before. But unfortunately, it's very, very busy on there at the moment. So there aren't any regular slots on there. Music-wise, if you were listening on Monday's show, you'll note that I play a real good mix of music from Elvis Presley to Dance Monkey and everything in between. All right? So, and I really enjoyed doing it. So you'll be able to hear that again. That's reachonair.com. At the top there is schedule. Just click on schedule and you'll be able to see not just when I'm on, but when everyone else. Ross Patzelt. I think you probably enjoy Ross Patzelt's show as well. I don't know when he's on again, actually. Let's have a look. Now, remember, all these people on there are at varying different levels of whether you would think they were good or not. Okay, so you take your choice. I'm back on there on Monday at 10 o'clock, I think I said. Yeah, 10 o'clock Monday morning I'm on there. Okay. Let's see if I can find old Ross Pat's out there. Because he tends to do night times because he works for Tesco's, he does. Let's have a look there. Where's that schedule? There it is. Schedule. There we are. Schedule. And if you can't be with us live, then they do have a replay function as well. So you can go back. So, for example, am I on there? Let's have a look. So where's replay? Replay. There it is. Along the top, reachonair.com. Type it in now if you want to have a look. reachonair.com/schedule. Okay? So you click on schedule, but under schedule is another thing called replay. So I was on there on, when did I say? Monday the 9th. I was on there Monday the 9th. Let's have a look. Monday the 9th. Don't know if how it would work, really. Oh, listen again. There it is. Listen again. Hang on. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So if you hover over the name, so what I've done is gone reachonair.com, hover over schedule, and it will say schedule or replay underneath. Click on replay, right? That'll bring you up some dates. I was on Monday the 9th, so you click on Monday the 9th. And then just scroll down to 7 p.m. and you'll see me. Okay? Move your mouse over that. And then under the bottom there it says listen again. Now, and just click that and it'll play. You also have to hit the play button within the player itself, which comes up in the top left-hand side of your computers. Now, I did try and do this on my iPhone with no success. I couldn't get any replay stuff to play out on the iPhone, so perhaps that doesn't work so well. But that's how it works. All right, I know I did say I was going to look for Ross Patzel because he's quite good. He's very similar to me, actually. A little bit more laddie. That's not a disrespectful thing. It's a little bit more laddie. He's very good. And there's another bloke called James Freer, or James Fryer, I think it is. He's on there as well. Give him a listen. I can't find Ross on there now, actually. No, can't see him on there. No, can't see him on there. So, yeah, give him a little listen as well, and you may or may not enjoy it. All right? So that's my radio stuff coming up soon, and I'll try and get a regular slot somewhere. But I'll be doing that hopefully most mornings. With the live chat show, yes, that'll be back soon, as is now, sort of thing. I think probably 1 or 2 a week. Likely to be Saturday morning, likely, or Sunday night, one of the two. We're resting the bingo and the quiz right now. They were an incredible amount of work. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. All right, my darlings. What else have we got? Oh, talking of toothbrushes, I meant that to lead into this story. Can you imagine as a child, right? You put your tooth under the pillow. You wake up in the morning. No money. Where's the cash, mummy? Money, money, money. Where's my money? In a rich man's world. Yeah. In the Daily Mirror this morning, a mum who forgot to put money from the tooth fairy under her daughter's pillow has shared the smart way she recovered from the time-delayed visit, and parents love it. Come on! The little people want their money! Mummy, my tooth's gone and there's no money! Poor little people! They need the cash! How much did you get? I used to get 10 pence. 10 pence for my teeth. Some people keep them. I don't know if it's a bit creepy, that is, keeping your child's teeth as they fall out. Is that creepy or not? In the Daily Mirror, a mum who missed a scheduled visit from the Tooth Fairy has revealed how she managed to get away with it. Sabrina Anna wrote a letter posing as the fantasy character, the Tooth Fairy, in which she apologised to her little girl Avery for being late. Sabrina shared the adorable note where fellow parents praised her for her parenting win, reported the Daily Star. The letter read, "Dear Avery, thank you for your beautiful tooth. I'm so very sorry for being late. I got stuck in a sticky spider web last night, and by the time I got myself untangled, it was almost daytime." Oh, how lovely. I have to be back in fairyland before the sun comes up. I wish I could have made it sooner to retrieve your fourth tooth, but I'm extremely proud of you for being patient with me. Isn't that lovely? You see, if I got a note like that, I would have thought, sod that, where's the cash? Forget the note. I think double cash for that, dear. Double money. That's what we want. That's what they used to have on the Bob Monkhouse show. Double money, dear. Family Fortunes with Bob Monkhouse. Love it. And do anyone remember Bob's Full House on the telly? That was good. It was like a bingo show. That was on BBC One on Saturday nights. Loads of them on YouTube. I can't believe they're like 25, 30 years old, these programmes. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Bingo lingo, clickety click. It's time to take your pick of the six with Bob Monkhouse. I loved it. And Tooth Fairies, Christmas, all kind of in the same breath, really, isn't it? It says in the Sun this morning, even Santa will have to socially distance this year. But that doesn't have to stop you from seeing him. Now, you may remember our good friend Gary Owen, who does his show with John now. I think Friday nights, 8 or 10 o'clock, the Gary Owen and John on their show. But Gary was as Father Christmas in Harrods. Not in Primark. Not in Bentals. Not in Phoenix. Not in Selfridges, not even in John Lewis, in Harrods. £1,000 a day you used to get for that. £1,000 a day. For being Father Christmas in Harrods. That's not bad, is it, eh? I think it was £1,000. Anyway, in the Sun, it says there's several ways for Father Christmas to greet children virtually while you stay at home. Now, maybe a little job for me here. Santa's calling you.co.uk. All right, parents might want to write that down. Gary, are you watching? Santa's calling you.co.uk. Santa's calling you with an S. Oh, do you want me to spell it? Well, get a pen, I'll spell it in a minute. Santa's calling you.co.uk is one such website that allows you to set up a private video call with the man himself. Here's the spelling. Santa's calling you. SantaCallingYou.co.uk. That's what you click on, all right? There's also the chance to meet Mrs. Claus, an elf, and even a Santa story time option. Oh, the left wing will get hold of this story. Why does it have to be Mrs. Claus? Why can't he have a boyfriend? 'Cause it's Father Christmas. He didn't have a boyfriend. Thickos. The left would be straight on there, wouldn't it? Why is it Father Christmas? Why isn't it Mother Christmas? Wow, that's really sexist. They'd be straight on that story, mate. They've got nothing else to do. None of them work. The 10-minute call starts at $24.99. Want to talk to someone on the phone? I'll do it for a tenner. 10 quid. Cash now, please. The 10-minute call starts at $24.99. Wow. That seems to be an awful lot of money to me just to talk to Santa. That's a present. 25 quid, isn't it? I think it is anyway. I got a list yesterday. I won't say who from. A list, which I asked for. A list of what suitable children's presents would be for certain members of the family. Yes. Which I will be looking at later. I'd like to get it all sorted now, my Christmas stuff. I did the same last year. No, I didn't do the same last year. I went to Hamleys last year, didn't I? Can't do that this year. No Christmas trip to Hamleys. Missed that. I used to love doing that. Every year I've been in the last few years. Christmas trip to Hamleys, week or two before Christmas. So busy. But that's part of it, you see. Can't do it this year. Amazon, all come in little boxes. There's also, do you know my mate? Was it him or his other half? One of the two. he went out and collects, or has got, and he's very proud of this. Right, get this: 3 cardboard boxes with Louis Vuitton written on the top. He said, "Do you know how much they are on eBay?" I said, "It's a box." He said, "Look them up on eBay." I can't remember what they were now. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at these. Oh, hang on. What am I doing here? Why can't I sign in? Right, Louis Vuitton box. Here we go. Here we are. Louis Vuitton box. Right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh no, that's that. It's untrue. That's untrue, that is. Right, I'll just get a picture of it for you. Wow. Right, 1 minute. How much do you think this is? Oh, Christ. 1 minute. There we are. So this is the sort of thing he's got. He's got 3 of these. Three boxes like that. So that is a Louis Vuitton foldable empty box and carrier bag set. Right? £24.99 for that. It don't do anything, does it? It's a box. I get hundreds of Amazon boxes through the post weekly. Why would someone pay £24.99 for a box? Because it says Louis Vuitton on it. They're off their heads, some people. I'll tell you what, great nieces and nephews will not be receiving any presents in Louis Vuitton boxes, ever. That's just mad. £25 to buy a couple of boxes. He collects them. He's very proud of his collection of Louis Vuitton boxes. Dear me. Anyway, let's go back to this story here about santascallingyou.co.uk. This is a website where you can call Santa for just £24.99, or you can have the Louis Vuitton boxes. Take your choice. The service was set up by an actor, James Bartlett, who spotted a gap in the market for other people who have lost work due to pandemic. He told the BBC nearly 400 applied for acting roles, and we are still looking for more Santas. Still want more? Want to be a Father Christmas? One of the good things about the virtual calls is that there's time to inform your Santa about things like pet names or wish lists, so that the call can feel more personalised. Wonder Adventures is another company hosting live Santa Comes to Tea virtual experiences for just £12.99. These take place via Facebook private groups and can involve other families you may not know. Santa's Lapland, which usually arranges trips to meet Santa in a snowy setting, is also a 10-minute video calls to Lapland. Prices start, right, Santa's Lapland. Can I read that again to you? Santa's Lapland, which usually arranges trips to meet Santa in a snowy setting, is also 10-minute video calls to Lapland. Prices start from £85. Is that each child? £85 for a 10-minute video call to Santa in Lapland. I bet it's not even in Lapland. You know, all these people that you ring up, these dodgy people on Babe Station, you know. I don't know, was it £5 a minute or whatever it is? Oh, God. For all you know, I might not even be sitting here. You don't know that? I could have come in, if I wanted to, I could have come in here, recorded this programme a week ago, set the clock to read as it is now, and pushed a button and started it at the right time. You don't really know, do you, when you think about it? This service for £85, oh, mind you, you would know, because these are all today's stories, wouldn't you? No, you would know, yeah. The service gives families a tour of Santa's grotto and even introduces them to reindeer. I don't suppose they've got a lot to say for themselves, have they, the reindeer? There's no one on the phone there. Oh, hello, how are you? I'm a reindeer. Can I have a carrot, please? Be a bit like that, wouldn't it? What do reindeers have of interest to say? Is it more interesting than listening to one of Gemma Collins's podcasts? I would imagine it would be. And the reindeer are not so big, are they? There is also a Santa's Grotto Live. Now, for this one, you get a 15-minute phone call. 15-minute phone call. For up to 4 children and 2 guest links for £30. Oh, God. Other festive venues in the UK will be holding out for a Christmas miracle so that they can reopen before the big day. This includes Lapland UK in Ascot, which told the BBC it would open whenever it could. Now, I've been past that in years gone past. Nah. I don't think so, mate. These Lapland UK things, I've seen... Now, it might be different this year, but I went past it last year. A very, very poor affair. Really. There's a few trees and a bit of tinsel slung over them. I don't know. I'm sure there's reindeers and things there. No, I wouldn't bother, mate. Don't bother with that, all right? Anyone see the new Holby City? How fantastic was that? Best ever episode, according to one story. Wonderful. And what a twist at the end. I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that. Did you see it? Well, if you didn't and you still want to watch it, turn your sound down now. Okay. There's nothing wrong with the microphone. Oh, there's something wrong with your microphone. Jack Naylor was there. She's got no patience because they did the whole COVID thing, didn't they? It was really a very, very powerful episode. I found it very powerful. A little bit tear-jerking, but then, I cry at the slightest thing that happens on the telly. Someone wins the lottery, I'm in floods of tears. That sort of thing. I'll tell you what, I was in floods of tears the other day. You may have seen it on TikTok. A few people have I don't know what you call it, rebroadcast it on their TikToks and things like that. But there's a very elderly ballerina. She was a top ballerina in New York years ago. She's now got dementia, in a wheelchair. I don't think she can walk. But it was a real beautiful piece of video. And basically, she's in this wheelchair. And she's like this. All her hands are kind of curled up and very thin. She looked like she had long to go, to be honest. But she got dementia. And she just sits there like this, bless her. No, I'm not taking the mick. I wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do it. Just sitting there like this. Like that. Not knowing what's going on around her, yeah? And some kind person put some headphones on. As I say, she was a ballerina. She starred in Swan Lake in New York. I expect she travelled around the world in her younger days doing that. And they put this Swan Lake on her headphones and started playing it. And at first she's like, no. And eventually she starts moving her hands like that. And they mixed it with her, some old black and white film of her performing. I assume it was New York. It could have been somewhere else. It's irrelevant, really. Performing. And as the music's playing, it shows you her on the stage in black and white. And then it fades back to her in the chair. And she's doing the movements with her arms in exactly the same way as she would have done on the stage. And it's a real wonderful piece of video. And it just shows you, and I think people have said before that music is very good for people with dementia. I'd have an awful lot to choose from over the years of DJing that I've done. Only certain tunes come on and I am up. I mean, please tell me. You know, surely I'm not the only one to get up in front of certain YouTube videos and dance on my own. How sad is that? You know, sometimes I even get a little. I even pick up my little tin of mints. You know those little tins of mints that you get in Aldi? They're about 79 pence. And I'll have one of those. Then it's like being in a nightclub. But it was this ballerina. It was so wonderful. 1 minute she's down like that, you know, and the next minute she's just come to life because she heard the music, Swan Lake. Da 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 da. Oh, just wonderful. And I sat there, tears in my eyes and everything. Really, really great. I don't know how you would look that one up. Ballerina with dementia, Swan Lake. Type that into Google. You might find it with that. So wonderful. But music can help people with dementia. Something that I came across relating to that sort of story is in the Daily Mail today. Any of you got an open fire? My sister's got an open fire. I think it's wonderful. That little bungalow in near Horncastle that I went to look at and put an offer in, and they took it off the market. I told you, didn't I? Been taken off the market. Might put it back on in the spring. But anyway, this had an open fire in every room. I was talking to my mate about that, actually. He said, I didn't even spot it. He said, you know there's an open fire in every room? I said, is there? He said, yeah, look at the pictures. I knew there was one in the sitting room. I didn't realise there was one in every single room. How's that work then? Because there was only one chimney. Do they kind of meet up somewhere, all the chimneys? I suppose they must do, must they? I've never had an open fire wherever I've lived. I quite like those stoves, you know, the metal things. Thick cast iron things they are. And must be lovely sitting there, really. In the Daily Mail it says, sitting beside an open fire at home can expose people to more air pollution than travelling to work along busy roads, a new study suggests. UK researchers say exposure to tiny particles of toxic matter from open fires may exceed roadside sources and contribute to dementia symptoms. I never knew that. Air pollution particles from fires can find their way into the lungs and in the bloodstream and can negatively impact cognitive health. That's a brain thing, isn't it? You would have thought all that stuff just goes straight up the chimney, wouldn't you? Not according to this. The experts have found a link between the use of open fires in the home and poor cognitive function in elderly people in Ireland. They speculate that open fires are particularly damaging to people as they get older, as they spend more time in their houses. Elderly people have also spent much of their lives in front of open fires throughout the 20th century before their adverse health effects were properly understood. Now, I don't know if this is like an accumulation over a time period, you know. So if you've always been in a house with an open fire, you've always been having this stuff coming at you. I'm 57 and it might be, you know, that, well, you could probably have an open fire now for, I don't know, however long you've got left. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It says coal fires in particular are one of the largest sources of fine particulate matter, but wood and peat burning fires are also damaging. Researchers now support policies banning or restricting the use of open fires as a heat source in the move to cleaner alternatives. Now, I wonder, is one of those stoves, you know, those, what are they called? They're called stoves, aren't they? When I say stoves, I don't mean cooking stoves. They're like a metal box, usually with special glass that doesn't go bang, around, and you open a little door and you put stuff in there, coal or wood, I think, and you close the door. Presumably, yeah, that would be enclosed. That would just surely go straight up your chimney, wouldn't it? That wouldn't come into the living room. I think they're probably talking more of just literally open fires where you've got perhaps the guard in front, you know, and I don't know. But that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Never knew that. Another story in the Daily Mail today. Anyone of you have got the Ring doorbell alarms? It seems a problem in America. Amazon's home security arm Ring. Now, I've got one of these. The Ring doorbell has recalled 358,000 of its smart doorbells sold in North America after some of them caught fire. Gosh. They received complaints of property damage and minor burns. The company has recalled units of its £89 second generation video doorbell released this year. Now, I've got a first generation. Mine's quite old now. I've had it a few years. Fantastic. Highly recommended. You have a video doorbell. Ring just happens to be the one. Other people do them as well. Some people cheaper. I just know that the Ring ones work very well, so I stick with the product, you know. I've got a few cameras up now, both here and down at the caravan. The doorbell's battery can overheat when the incorrect screws are used for installation. Well, that would be me, you see. You know, that don't look big enough, that screw. I'll just go and get another one. DIY Chris is in the house. So it can overheat when the incorrect screws are used. Ring doorbells allow monitors to use their monitor their homes remotely with live video streams. So if you've got one of those and you're in North America, don't use the wrong screws, all right? We were talking about Holby City a moment ago, weren't we? I don't know if we got sidetracked off that, but it was a really good episode. As I say, Jack Naylor, she's not working at the moment because they're doing the whole COVID thing, so they've cancelled all the operations and things unless they absolutely have to do them. So she comes on there. She says, I'm volunteering to be a nurse. And she's like, how difficult can it be? Very hard work being a nurse. I think you've got to be a very special person to be a nurse. You can't be doing it for the money, surely not. You've got to be totally dedicated into being a nurse, haven't you? You couldn't possibly do it for the money. Rick Griffin, he's one of the main people in there. He had a brain operation some time ago. He's come out of his coma and he went straight back to work. With great displeasure shown by Miss McGarity, who's like in charge of that particular part of the hospital. But he says, you need me here. I'm coming back to work. Started working and he became ill again when he was just about to do a cesarean section on this poor girl who was laying there in the hospital. She's got the COVID as well, and she made Nick Griffin, who's like the surgeon, promise to save her baby if it meant one or the other. So he's done his task, but he became ill. So then Mrs. McGarity, she came in and did the operation. Meanwhile, Rick Griffin is falling on the floor. He's clearly got COVID. And he collapses. Very, very good episode. And right at the end, and I didn't know this was going to happen, because I do not read spoilers. Ever. If I say Doctor Who news, I'll turn the page over or click off. I won't read it. Won't read it. Ruins the programme. I wish the papers wouldn't do it. But I didn't know it was going to happen. Rick Griffin left. He left the hospital. He's taken, the lady clearly died. He's taken the baby under his wing and will look after it. I think he's going back to, was it Nigeria or Ghana. He's going back to Ghana with the baby. Funny, isn't it? That they can just pick a baby out of the hospital like that. No one's had to go to the government and say, can I adopt this child? It just happened. So a little bit unbelievable, that one. But he's been in it for years. I mean, years. And he's left. That was a bit of a shock to the system. But it was really great. Cameron looked absolutely terrified. Cameron's a young doctor in there, but he's not particularly good at it. And he keeps doing things when there are other operations or procedures taking place so that someone mucks up so he can come in and save the day, and it makes himself look good. Dodgy old character. Anyway, there's a website, whatsontv.co.uk. Their take on this was Holby City gave viewers an insight into hospital life during the peak of a pandemic. Holby City returned to our screens on Tuesday night. Was really good, with an episode viewers will never forget. Oh, it certainly was. I was glued to that telly. One of the other reasons I'm glued to the telly at the moment, I've turned off my Facebook. You want to try it? I'm absolutely serious. What a revelation that is. I'll come to that after this. The episode focused entirely on what it's like working in a hospital during the height of the first wave of the coronavirus pandemic, and fans have praised the cast and crew, calling it the best episode of the medical drama ever. It certainly was. I was on the edge of my seat watching that. Back after 3 months off, the episode opened with Rick Griffin waking from a coma, having had brain surgery in the last episode, which was back in the summer. And that gone quick. Gone quick, innit? But when Rick awakes, he is shocked to find the hospital he knows so well looking almost unrecognisable as it's gripped by the pandemic. As well as telling Rick's story as he fought to recover from his operation last night's Tuesday's Holby City, also highlighted what it was like for NHS staff working at the start of the pandemic. From the lack of PPE and new doctors signing up to help at the hospital, families being kept apart, and Thursday evening clapping for our NHS heroes, the episode paid tribute to everyone working on the front line. As well as the pandemic taking centre stage, in the special episode we also saw Sasha struggling with his grief after losing Essie, and it was also sadly Rick's exit, as I told you, after 19 years he's been in that. 19 years. The problem is there, you see. I think he'd find it difficult to find another job now. You get typecast. I think that's why Christopher Eccleston decided he wasn't going to do Doctor Who for more than one series. I would imagine he'd now find it difficult to find, or maybe he doesn't want to do that anymore. He'd probably get a job on the stage, but in a television series, you'd see him straight away. Oh, it's Rick Griffin from Holby. You know, that's the problem with being in a series for so long. Good job to have 19 years he was there. It's like what that lad in EastEnders. Adam Woodruff, the one who's in EastEnders. He's been in that ever since it started. What a great gig. How many years is that? Regular money coming in. Good, isn't it? He says, being a male over 60 and with underlying health conditions, Rick was already on the vulnerable list. However, he put his patients first and continued to work despite his health deteriorating. Eventually, he also fell victim to COVID. However, unlike many people he had been treating, he thankfully recovered. Fans have hailed the episode as the best episode they have ever watched and have heaped praise on everyone involved with making such a milestone episode. At the end of the episode, Rick had decided to make his emotional exit, leaving in hospital to make a very special journey to fulfill a promise he had made to a dying patient. That's the lady who'd had the baby. Holby City won't be the same without him, and it's on Tuesdays they've moved it. It says here it's on Tuesdays at 7:50 p.m. I've just come across. Well, I didn't know that. I've just come across another story here. Back in August, did you know Mike Smith died? Remember him? Radio 1, Radio 2. He was on the telly as well. Well, I didn't know that. Top of the Pops, of course. Live Aid. Capital Radio. Oh, I didn't know that. Mike Smith died back in August. Gosh. Late breakfast show, breakfast time. Late breakfast show with Noel Edmonds. Yeah, he was on there, wasn't he? Well, I didn't know that. Mike Smith had died. Good God. Well, funny how you fall around like that, isn't it, really? You just didn't realise it. Gosh. Oh, well. That's sad, isn't it? That's sad. Shall we do the Super Chat raffle now, boys and girls? Promise you we do the Super Chat raffle today. Okay? So we've got all our little bits and pieces in here. Thanks very much for all your likes on the show today. Thank you very much for all of those. Here's our Super Chat raffle tickets. They're all in here. Someone is about to win our mug. There you go. And then we'll have a quick look at your messages before we disappear. There we go. Let's mix those up a little bit for you. Okay. Right, for the mug then. Are you ready with this? Are you ready with this? Let's have a drum roll. I have a ticket. It's ticket number 570. And the name on the back is Twix. Twix. Who's Twix? I have no idea who that is. Is that the only ticket he bought? Or she? Is that a she or a she? I don't even know. Oh no, there's some more in there. Twix. Who's Twix? I don't know who that is, but Twix, you've won the mug, my darling. Okay, let's put that over there. You've won this mug. So if you could just claim it by email, please. Send us an email to that email address there with your full postal address. And that will be in the post as soon as you're probably with us this morning, I expect. So I'll put that in the post immediately for you. Okay? All right. Congratulations to Twix winning the Super Chat raffle. There we go. Obviously, there can't be any Super Chat raffles now. Well, we've not got the chat box on there, my darlings. All right, so that will be the last one for now there. Okay, let's just delve into your little messages and things that we were chatting about, perhaps. Lee Toby says, nice to see you back. I thought you were in discussions to take over from Graham Norton. They just won't pay the money. You know, why should I go in there and do it cheaper than £15,000 per show? That's my argument there. Thanks very much. Okay. That's odd. Some sort of media thing there. I don't know what that is. Thank you very much to Gary Ross for your email there as well. Where are we now? And let's just do text messages as well. Let me get my little glasses on there. Hello to Rachel Wheatland. Hello, Rachel. Sorry you didn't win the mug, darling. Sorry you didn't win it. I do try and make it so that's obvious, you know, there's no cheating or anything going on. But Rachel, I know Rachel wanted the mug there. I'm pretty sure it's the last one. There might be one at the caravan. I'm not sure. There might be. I would say 70% certain there isn't one there, but there might be. So we'll have a look there when we come back there, okay? Good morning to George Bond. Hello to Chris Woodhouse. Good morning to Chris Woodhouse. Maureen is in the house. Hello to Maureen today. Hello to Colin K. Hello, Colin K. Paul in Cornwall loves steak and chips with onion rings. Ooh, that does sound quite nice. I can't be eating dead animals again. No more dead animals, dear. No. Rachel says freshly baked bread straight from the oven. My grandma used to bake it. Oh, Rachel, don't, darling. I'm just going to say 2 words to you, Rachel. Bread machine. Deadly. You buy one of those, 1 week later, you've put 10 stone on. Do you think Gemma Collins has got a bread machine? I think she might have a bread machine, little Gemma Collins, mightn't she? Hello to the lovely Glenda in Pittsburgh, USA. Sorry, I've just... that's gone a little bit wrong. 1 minute. That's not showing things. Oh, there we are. How do I do this now? There's Glenda. Good morning back to Glenda this morning. I've made her morning. Mr. England, she calls me. Thank you. Good morning to John Parrish. Hello to you. Sherry and I are among all the other strange people. You are very strange people. Thank you, Sherry. And Sherry's doing it. She was doing a cooking sauce. I think she was making some sort of sauce on her most recent video show. So look her up on YouTube, Sherry DMP. All right. Someone there's noticed I'm not on the Facebook. Yeah, that's right. Kelly, Kim, Leo, and David. Hello to you. If Gemma Collins has eaten your satellite dish, please help. Send help via a carrier pigeon. I'll come on to the good morning to Adam the plumber there. Hello to Adam the plumber. And that's it there. Thank you very much for your text this morning. As with the Facebook thing, as I mentioned there, I found myself with Facebook, and I've mentioned this many times to you. I said to you, I wouldn't be on Facebook unless it was for my work. Now, you could argue, although this is like a hobby, okay, you could also class it as work, I suppose, really, when you think about it. I like it to appear in a certain way, and I like it done a certain way, and I like people to expect a certain sort of, how do you say, sort of level of how it looks and sounds. Do you know what I mean? So you could class that as work. But with the Facebook thing, and I mentioned to you many, many times, I found myself just constantly, and I've been doing it for years, constantly picking up the phone. Oh, let's just see what's on Facebook. Scroll, scroll, scroll. And then I watched about 2 minutes of the telly. Just have a quick look on Facebook. So there's a programme on the telly. You watch this thing. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll just have another look on Facebook. That's what I was doing. Not only that, even at meal times. So breakfast in the morning. There's old Naga on the telly. First thing I do, I get up. I used to get up at 7:15 in the morning, as you well know. Not at the moment. 7:15, alarm goes off. First thing I do, lean across, turn the phone on. Might be a really important Facebook message for me. Have a quick look. Still in bed. First thing, phone on. Look at Facebook. Go downstairs, right? Make the tea. Take it into the room on the tray. Eating breakfast. Telly on. Eating breakfast. Put the phone down. Pick the phone up. Just put that on there. Just have a quick look on the Facebook there. Oh, and that's what I found. And I've been doing that for a long time now. And it seems to me pretty impossible to have it on your phone and not pick it up. You put your phone in the kitchen, you pause the telly, you go outside, bring the phone in, have another look at it, put it back at... Oh, it's just ridiculous. So I switched it off. And it's been off since Monday. What a revelation that is. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's like giving up smoking. In fact, I would say it's worse than giving up smoking. That constant desire to pick up your phone and see, just in case someone has done something interesting. How many times have you flipped up with your phone like that? On and on and on, all the time. So I turned it off. I haven't deleted it. I have, there's deactivated. So if you deactivate it, you disappear from Facebook. And I could now, if I want to, go straight on there and reactivate it. And everything that I've done in the past will still be there. But I've turned it off for now. And it's been a real revelation, I tell you. I wouldn't say I've come off it completely. But I think a little bit of a Facebook downtime, certainly while I'm not at work or that sort of thing, is a good thing. And I now go out on my walks. I don't pick up the phone halfway through the walk and just see if I've got a Facebook message. What for? What for? Of what interest has someone else's life got to do with what you're doing? Oh, and as you know, I was never led by likes or anything like that on the Facebook. You know, you do not need someone to tell you that they like what you're doing. Just do it. We never used to do that in the past, did we? you know, I don't know, the two Ronnies didn't go and do their show and then rush to their email boxes and, well, there wasn't email, rush to wherever to see if anyone's liked their thing. Why do you need verification that someone has either liked or disliked you? Don't need it. Don't need it. Go and do your thing and don't worry about what other people think. Just don't worry about it. There you go, Rachel. She's always on Facebook. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah. Turn it off. I mean, if you want to, Rachel, you don't, it's up to you what you do, my love. But I found it a real revelation turning that off completely so that it's not, the app isn't even on here. I've deleted the app. All right. It may be there's a halfway thing you can do here, whereas you do actually have your Facebook, but only on the computer. Don't have it on your mobile phone because it's so easy to just constantly keep picking this up and flick through. Morning. Good morning to Mandy Davenport this morning as well. I don't know what you're like on the Facebook, Mandy. So maybe that's the thing. I'll stay off it for a while. And I think I might put it back on the computer, but I don't think I'll re-download it onto here because it's just too tempting to constantly pick up this damn phone and flick through to see what some other sad individual was talking about. It's all the same sort of stuff. Someone's, I've been dumped by my terrible boyfriend or girlfriend. This is what they used to do to me. Someone else is sending you around flashing Christmas trees, endlessly to people because they're sitting at home bored. Well, I've got more to do with my life than sit there looking at flashing Christmas trees and Easter eggs. Do you know what I mean? It's just mad. So that's why I'm not on Facebook. You may want to try it yourself. It's a real eye opener doing that Facebook thing. All right. Okie doke. Hello to John Aiken. Hello to John Aiken. No, we just switched off for a little while, John. Just switched off for a while. Hello to Colin. Hello to Colin. Nice to see you there as well. I'll read that. That looks like a personal email. So I'll read that after I've finished the show, which is now, actually. Okay, which is now. Once again, gang, do have a look at the Reach. I'll be going back to doing some music and chat shows on Reach on air. The next show will be Monday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? Monday morning at 10 o'clock will be my next Reach show on air. The bingo and the quiz nights are both on hold at the moment, okay? They are an incredible amount of work doing those things, and I'm not quite sure where I want to go with those things now. There's certainly not, it's not like there's more and more people joining each week, because there's not. It just doesn't. I don't know why that is. It just doesn't happen for me. We just get stuck at a number and then that's it. You shouldn't, as I say, always said before, you shouldn't be led by numbers. But when you see some of these people on YouTube and there's like tens of thousands of people, and you think to yourself, what are you doing wrong? Do you know what I mean? But they're just not going anywhere. And kindly, you there have often helped by reposting things about the quiz night and the bingo. Neither of them are doing anything. They're just stuck at the same level all the time, and it's just not happening. So I kind of, we need to. I think I need to move on from that really and be done with it. But music and chat. So next one of those will be Reach on air at 10 o'clock in the morning. Live shows like these, yes, will carry on happening. Maybe not every day. Still having a little think about that. All right, my darlings. Those of you on the YouTube there, just have your little subscription thing clicked on, and of course your notifications, and that should go ping whenever there is a show. Thanks so much for watching and listening today. I'll see you again very soon. Enjoy your day. Cheerio now.